Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smiles. Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smiles. Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smiles.
Breakfast with Elli.
Mode ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam shechazarta bi nishmati bechemla rabba emunatecha.
Why do tens of thousands of Jews come to this cemetery every single year here in Staten Island? The reason might surprise you. This is the kever of the brother of Rav Shaila from Kerestir, Rav Yehuda Tzvi Steiner. Rav Shaila is the tzaddik most people know about, so why does this grave draw such a massive crowd? The answer is very mysterious.
There was a man who traveled to Kerestir every year to daven at the kever of Rav Shaila. One year, he was unable to make the journey, and he was heartbroken. That year, Rav Shaila appeared to him in a dream and said, "Go to the grave of my brother in Staten Island, and you will be able to connect to me through him." Slowly but surely, the story spread. What began as a personal experience became widely known, and today, many people travel to Staten Island each year to daven on the yardzites of both Rav Yehuda Tzvi and Rav Shaila of Kerestir.
So who was Rav Yehuda Tzvi, and why does this story make sense? Rav Yehuda Tzvi moved to the United States in the 1890s, and he brought Judaica and sold Judaica to American Jews from Europe. He also was famously known to send kvitlach, which were letters, to Hungary to his brother. And through the schos of Rav Yehuda Tzvi, those letters made it to Hungary, which makes sense that his brother, Rav Shaila, gave this man directive in his dream to come daven here at this holy grave here in Staten Island, and to send those tefillos to Kerestir. Sometimes we think that our spirituality exists in other places, whether it's traveling to Eretz Yisrael where we should be, or traveling to a kever across the world. But the lesson is that right in our backyard, there's always spirituality to tap into. In your four corners, if you ever pass Staten Island before getting on the Verrazano, stop off at the cemetery, come daven here at the tzaddik.
כי השם יתברך תמיד אוהב אותי ותמיד יהיה לי רק טוב. השם יתברך תמיד אוהב אותי ותמיד יהיה לי רק טוב. עוד יותר טוב ועוד 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 יותר טוב ותמיד יהיה לי רק טוב.
Good morning and welcome to Breakfast with Elli, Season 8, Episode 212. It is Thursday, the 24th day of Tammuz, the 9th day of July, the Torah portion, the double portion, to close out the book of Bamidbar, Matot-Masei. HaYom, Yom Chamishi, the Shabbos, 5th day, counting up towards Shabbos. We learned the 5th Aliyah and the Rabbi Sacks for today. I'm excited about that. Always like learning the Rabbi Sacks. Makes me feel so good. All right. So let's get started, men and boys. Take your two front sitters. Everyone else join us in the second bracha. Yeah, let's go. Do it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mitzvat tzitzit. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat yadayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yatzar et ha'adam b'chokhma uvaravo nekavim nekavim chalulim chalulim galui v'yadua lifnei chisei Chevodecha she'im yisatem echad mehem o im yipateach echad mehem I efshar lehitkayem afilu sha'a echat Baruch atah Adonai rofe chol basar umafli la'asot Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi ata verata ata yitzarta ata nefachta bi ve'ata meshamera bikirbi ve'ata atid litla mimeni ul hachazira bi le'atid lavo Kol ziman shehaneshama בקרבי מודה אני לפניך אדוני אלוהי ואלוהי אבותי ריבון כל המעשים אדון כל הנשמות ברוך אתה אדוני המחזיר נשמות לבקרים מתים ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו על דברי תורה הריני מקבל עלי מצוות עשה של ואהבת לרעך כמוך I take upon myself every single day to love my fellow friend in a very special way
Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe, Morasha kehilas Yaakov, Morasha kehilas Yaakov, Morasha kehilas Yaakov, Torah, Tziva lanu Moshe.
And we're going to put some tzedakah in our pushka. All right. Filament arrived yesterday, so we're going to get that going hopefully very, very soon. All right. All right, are you ready? Tzedakah has been given. It's time to say the Shema. Take your right hand, place it over your eyes.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
If you haven't said Shema yet, say it right now, and have a blessed day.
Baruch Shem kevod malchuto leolam vaed.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
The 12 psukim, 12 ways.
Shama
All right, and it's time for breakfast. So once again, take your cup of coffee and your yogurt or whatever it is you're having. If you have a different bracha, check out this chart to see which one is correct for what you are about to eat. All right, and for what you are about to eat, we need to thank Hashem. And so we make a bracha shahakol. And that also covers kind of everything. It's an all-inclusive bracha. So, excuse me, say it with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shahakol nehiyah bidvarei.
Coffee, blessed coffee. God bless you for being a friend. When the whole world turns on me, it's only you on which I can depend. I want to taste you in the morning and a few times throughout the day. Yes, a cup of two in the evening too. For me, it's the only way.
All right. Delicious, and I made a mess. Today in Jewish history. All right. Today's the outside of Dr. Berend Lehmann, the German philanthropist, court financier, and supporter of Torah. He died in 1730. And a military tribunal opened proceedings against several dozen Jews, including the Doyanetzever Rebbe and the Reginer Rebbe, who were alleged to know about the murder of two Jewish informers. Of course, that wasn't true, but it didn't matter. Today is the art site of Harav Yaakov Yosef of blessed memory, the head of the Kollel of New York. He lived from 1840 to 1902. He was New York's first and only chief rabbi. He was born in the village of Brezhe, a province of Kovel, Lithuania. His intellectual abilities were already apparent when he was young, though his father, Rabbi Dov Yosef, did whatever he could to find rebbes to learn with his son. His dire financial situation left him no choice but to send the boy to work. Harav Moshe Yitzchok Halevi Revel heard about the situation and set out for Krez. He left Rabbi Dov Ber a considerable sum of money and sent Yaakov to the Eitz Chaim Yeshiva in Volozhin at his own expense. Rabbi Yaakov studied in Volozhin for a year and gained a sterling reputation. The Rosh Yeshiva, the Netziv, held him in high regard, nicknaming him Reb Yeke de Charif, the sharp one, Yekele de Sharfe. His fellow students fondly called him the Eloi of Krez. At that time, Harav Yisrael Salanter opened a yeshiva in which his unique Musar approach was taught. Yaakov Yosef attended the yeshiva, soon becoming one of its leading students. He married Esther Rachel, the daughter of a Kovna merchant, and after the wedding, they settled in Kovna. After several years, Rabbi Yaakov decided to become a community leader in Yarburg in the hope of bringing Jews closer to Hashem. He became Rav of Vilna in 1883 and authored the Sefer Lebeit Yaakov, published in 1888 in Vilna. When Harav Avram Ash was nifter, passed away, the Association of American Orthodox Hebrew Congregations invited Rabbi Yaakov Yosef to assume the position of chief rabbi. Officially called Rosh HaKollel, the late Rav maintained authority over the 15 shuls that existed in New York at that time. At first, the Jewish community united around their new chief rabbi, but unfortunately, the situation soon changed. Certain elements in the community took control of kashrus and marketed non-kosher foods, claiming that they were kosher. He fought vigorously to uphold Jewish tradition, but it was an uphill battle against a Jewish community that was assimilating and a government that was not yet fully supportive of religious rights. Tragically, he often bore the brunt of mockery and scorn from Jews from Jews who saw him clinging to the old ways, and he withdrew from public. After suffering a debilitating stroke, his condition deteriorated sharply, and he was niftar. He passed away on the 24th day of Tammuz in 1902. All right. All right. After his death, a dispute ensued to whom should be his successor. It went unresolved, and the office of Chief Rabbi of New York ended. It marked the end of an attempt to establish a central rabbinical authority over New York's Jewish community. That is very sad. All right, this is cool. Are you ready for this? Rabbi Ezra Ungar, a 36-year-old Hasidic real estate entrepreneur from New York, is in advanced talks to purchase Arika Airlines, one of Israel's largest airlines. His goal? To create the first fully Shabbos-observant airline. No flights on Shabbos, fully kosher, operating completely in accordance with Jewish law. Fascinating, right? Now, where did this man start? That's amazing. Are you ready? Selling baked goods out of his home while studying Torah in the KOLEL to help support his family. He then moved to New York real estate and built a business empire through major property investments. Now he wants to bring that same drive and that same faith to Israeli aviation. If the deal closes, Arkia would become one of the largest Frum-owned airlines in the world, a historic moment for Israel's aviation industry and a landmark achievement for Orthodox Jewish business communities globally. All right, that's pretty cool. Mazel tov, and we hope, Rabbi Unger, that you are successful in this endeavor, and we wait to hear the news. All right. 3 weeks we learned about the Beis Hamikdash. All right. Let me see if I can get this over here. There we go. All right. Class number, what are we doing? Class number 7, I think it is. Yeah. All right, let's go.
Hi, my name is Hananya Haffinger, and I'd like to welcome you to the 7th class on the structure and details of the second Beis Hamikdash. In this class and in the next class, we're going to learn about the Mizbeach. So we're going to divide the Mizbeach into 2 classes. In this class, we're going to talk about the general dimensions of the Mizbeach and get an idea of its size. So if we look at the Mizbeach, going all the way to the bottom of it, the Yesod was 32 amas long, which is around 50 feet. Now the Yesod over here was only on the west of the Mizbeach, which is this side right here, and on the north of the Mizbeach. As you can see, it doesn't extend here on the south. It also did not extend here on the east. However, it extended an amma out of each end, which means it didn't come to an end right at the corner, but it went an amma outwards into the south side. Same thing over here. At the corner, it didn't end right at the corner. It went an amma into the east side. And so it totaled 32 ammas, which, like we said, is around 50 feet. Regarding the ramp, it was also 32 ammas. However, combined, they did not take 32 plus 32, which is 64 ammas. They didn't take up 64 ammas of the floor, but rather they took up 62 ammas. And the reason for that is because the ramp overlapped 2 ammas of the Mizbeach. The ramp went over the Yesod, or the area of the Yesod, and the Soiviv, which were each an amma wide. So you take off 2 ammas and it's 62 ammas. And 62 ammas is around 97 feet. Now regarding the height of the Mizbeach, so the height of the Mizbeach with the kronis, with the corners, was 10 ammas, which is around 15 feet. Now to get a sense of these sizes, so we have a picture here of 770. So regarding the 50 feet of the Mizbeach, all the way at the bottom by the Yesod, so it's around from this wall over here until this wall over here, and it's from the front wall behind the Aron Kodesh all the way to around here. That's the size of the Mizbeach, looking at it from the Yesod. And then regarding the height is around the height of the ceiling here in 770, which is around 15 feet. And then regarding the length, when you include in it also the ramp, so we'll see over here how much it extended, how long it was, it's around till here, meaning from the front wall of 770, you have the Mizbeach, and then you continue with the ramp. It'll extend to around over here. And with that, we'll end this class on the Mizbeach. And in the next class, we'll go into more details about the specifics of these dimensions, as well as some other things about the Mizbeach.
All right, that's me. Time for HaYom Yom.
HaYom Yom, thoughts for the day, 24th of Tammuz. Calculators replace long division, dryers the clothesline. Technology can make life so much easier, in order for us to focus on what is crucial. Shortcuts, blessings from above, are wonderful ways to allow us to get to what is really our mission. Today's entry reminds us what we are supposed to be doing with all that free time. Remember that free time is truly priceless, so spend it well.
We all know of people who are very affluent because of something that their parents' success or some windfall, but we tend to have more respect for people who are self-made. We love to hear the story of somebody who started with nothing and worked really hard to do very well for themselves. Today's HaYom Yom says that the same holds true for our moral and spiritual aspirations. The Tzemach Tzedek, the third Rebbe of Chabad, was once talking about how people come to him and they say, Rebbe, please give me a blessing that I become a God-fearing person. And it says the Tzemach Tzedek in today's HaYom Yom, a pnimi, which is a hard term to translate, but let's say it's someone with inner integrity. A pnimi understands that that's not the way to go, to ask for a blessing, that you give me a bracha that I become a God-fearing person. We're not supposed to be outsourcing our spiritual growth to other people. If you need all sorts of crutches to maintain your spiritual status, then that is a problem. You know, you hear people talking about how, oh yeah, the reason that I have this problem or shortcoming, that's because of what my parents did or my teachers did or this circumstance or the other. Get over it. Get over it. Being a good person requires work. Improving your character doesn't happen overnight. But the best person to make you a good person is you.
You know that's true. The only person in charge of you is you, right? All right, a word from our sponsor, and then let's learn some Torah. And now, a word from our sponsors. PestProRidol.com.
PestProRidol.com, trusted by the best to keep away the pests. We are offering COVID-19 disinfection services. Mention this ad and get 1 month free service. Visit us at PestProRidol.com.
Tarzan Group, micro, miniature, and small orchids. Go to tarzangroup.com or call Tomas at 305-440-0565. That's 305-440-0565 and order today. Visit Tomas and Yair at tarzangroup.com. Micro, miniature, and small orchids, beautiful in your home. Go to the website and read Tomas's orchid blog. And by Dina D Design. DinaDDesign@gmail.com. Fine artwork, custom made to your specifications, logos, wall hangings, Judaica, and you can even have something for your child's room. Dina D Designs. Go to her Facebook or Instagram or call or text. Thank you very much to our sponsors. If you'd like to become a sponsor, please go right up here to where it says patreon.com/theactorsrabbi, and you can contribute even only $1 a month if you'd like, but that'll help us bring this broadcast to you on a daily basis and cover our expenses. Be sure to thank your sponsors when shopping and mention Breakfast with Elli when you're shopping there. There might be discounts. Thanks for watching.
Helping lots of people any way we can. Tzedakah is the Jewish way to help your fellow man.
All right, if you would like to help out in bringing Torah all around the world, I posted a little bit of a nudge in the comments today. That's courtesy of Rabbi Meni Evan Yisroel, Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz, Evan Yisroel's son. And I thought that would interest some people. All right, maybe. Okay, we'll see. Maybe. You can scan the QR code that you see on your screen, which will take you to breakfastwithelli.live/support, breakfastwithelli.live/support, where you can help bring Torah all around the world. All right, that's really important because this program costs money, as we've said 1,000 times before, and we could really, really, really use your help in supporting Torah all around the world. So let's do it, okay? All right, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Now let's learn some Torah, because I think Rabbi Sachs is waiting for us. Are you ready? All right. Again, Rabbi Sachs, Covenant and Conversation. Let's do it.
Parashat Masei, the end of Sefer Bamidbar, comes to a close with an account of the Arei Miklat, the cities of refuge, the 6 cities, 3 on each side of the Jordan, that were set apart as places to which people who were found innocent of murder, just guilty of manslaughter, were sent. Of course, the cities of refuge are all about the fact that in very early societies, especially non-urban ones, without a police force, or wherever you find the breakdown of law and order, there was always a danger that people would take the law into their own hands, especially when a member of their family got killed, and then began a cycle of vengeance and retaliation that has no natural end. One revenge killing leading to another until the community has been decimated. In other words, the story of the Montagues and Capulets in Romeo and Juliet, or the Sharks and the Jets of West Side Story, or of course the Corleones and the Titalias in The Godfather. The only way of avoiding an endless replay of these revenge killings is the effective and impartial rule of law, but there is one persisting danger. If somebody is killed by accident, then at the end of the day, the person who killed him is deemed innocent of murder, but the family of the victim feel, we lost one of our family, and this man is walking free. And therefore, there was a particular danger that the family would still feel the need to take revenge, and that is why, to prevent this cycle of revenge killings, the cities of refuge were set apart. And what is very interesting is this little detail, that somebody who was sent to the city of refuge had to stay there until the death of the high priest. That's how long they had to stay. And what on earth has the death of the high priest got to do with it? And here is where I want to signal the difference between two approaches in Judaism, both attempting to answer the question, what's the connection between cities of refuge and the death of the high priest? Here is the way the Gemara, the Talmud, deals with it. An old scholar said, I once heard an explanation at one of the sessional lectures of Rav that the high priest should have davened harder. He should have implored divine grace for the generation, and that he failed to do. In other words, obviously, I mean, the high priest couldn't avoid people murdering one another, because somebody murdered somebody else, did so of his own free will. But what about where the killing was accidental? Surely the high priest, if he davened hard enough, would have brought about a situation in which accidents like that didn't happen. So, not only does the manslaughterer have to stay in exile, but somehow or other the high priest has to share in the guilt. While he's still alive, it's not fully atoned for. Now, Maimonides has a completely different approach. And here it is. He says, somebody who killed another person unknowingly has to go to exile. Why? Because if he stays where he is, he'll bump into members of the family of the people he killed, and they'll get upset and they may come to take revenge. So he has to go out of sight. As in America, they have something called a witness protection program nowadays. That's what it is. And then the Rambam says, now, why did he have to wait till the death of the high priest? Because the high priest, when the high priest died, that was a period of national mourning. Everyone was in grief. And the Rambam says, when everyone is grieving, you forget your private sadness because you're part of the collective sadness. So when the high priest dies, everyone is mourning the high priest, and they forget their own individual loss. There it is. It's a natural phenomenon. He says that we find consolation in our misfortune when the same misfortune or a greater one has befallen somebody else. Among us, no death causes more grief than that of the high priest. So according to the Rambam, the death of the high priest has nothing to do with guilt or atonement. It's simply, that's it, there's collective loss, everyone's very sad, and so on. And so I want to ask, what is at stake between these two different accounts of the same phenomenon? Because they really are different accounts. Well, the first difference is being sent into exile a form of punishment or not? According to the Gemara, yes, being sent into exile is a kind of punishment because there's some kind of guilt. And so the manslaughterer himself has to go and atone by exile, and the high priest has to die because he should have done harder. Whereas the Rambam says it's got nothing to do with guilt. It's only got to do with anger. In order to avoid somebody taking revenge and being angry, put the manslaughterer a long way out of sight so he never meets him. And secondly, you wait till, the anger's diffused because somebody else died. And of course, that's the first difference. But there is a more fundamental difference. The Gemara assumes a supernatural explanation. You see, according to the Gemara, if you pray, then no accidents happen. If an accident happens, it's clear, it means you didn't pray hard enough. There's something supernatural going on. Whereas the Rambam is saying, no, it's got nothing to do with anything supernatural. It's got to do with social psychology. When somebody famous dies, everyone feels the grief. Look at all the flowers there when Princess Diana died. Everyone feels involved in that kind of grief. And so we forget our own individual grievance. And that, says the Rambam, is a natural phenomenon. So now you see there is a fundamental difference that runs through the whole of Judaism. There's God, there's the universe. How does God connect with the universe? It connects, according to some, through supernatural means, through miracles, prayers, change nature. But according to the Rambam, God connects with the universe naturally, through ordinary things like social psychology. Prayer, according to the Rambam, changes the world because it changes us. You don't need miracles to explain how prayer changes us and makes us more grateful for the miracles around us, gives us more focus in our lives to recognize the divine presence in our lives. So, both are equal paths in Judaism, and they always were taken by different people. You had, on the one hand, the priests, on the other, the philosophers. On the one hand, you had Rabbi Ishmael, who was a rationalist, Rabbi Akiva, who was more of a mystic. You had the Rambam, who was more rational, Yehuda Halevi, who was more supernatural, and so on. In each generation, you had the supernatural Jews and the natural Jews. They are both ways in Judaism. All I want to say is that we should never forget that there is a natural way of reading Judaism, as Rabbi Yishmael read it, as the Rambam read it. That is that God changes the world, not through miracles, but through us. And for that, you don't need miracles. All you need is to go with the flow and the logic of human emotions when they are dedicated to God. Shabbat Shalom.
All right. That was fabulous. And now, Chumash and Rashi with Rabbi Avtson. Let's get to it really quick. Are you ready? Here we go.
Jewish audio on Chabad.org.
You shall be privileged to give the land as an inheritance to your families by throwing lots, as I've told you. The bigger inheritance to the larger tribes, smaller inheritance to the smaller tribes, as we spoke about. The boundaries of the land. This is a bit geographical. Hashem speaks to Moshe and he says, command the Israelites and say to them, when you arrive in Canaan, this is the land which will fall to you as an inheritance. As you know, there are certain commandments that you're obligated to fulfill only within the land, not outside it. It's especially within the following borders that you're obligated to fulfill those commandments. It will fall easily to you, for I have incapacitated the guardian angels of the 7 nations that occupy it. Your land's southmost side shall be from the desert of Tzin. The southern border shall begin from the southmost edge of the Dead Sea, the Dead Sea, to the east. The border will then run southward and pass to the south of Maleh Akrabim and pass toward Tzin. We'll send maps of all this and various other towns. The border will then turn northwest and continue to the stream of Egypt, i.e. the Nile, following it, and its end shall be where the stream of Egypt flows into the Mediterranean Sea. Just an interesting anecdote. The modern state of Israel is not exactly the boundaries of Israel proper. It goes much more south. For example, Eilat is not part of the original Israel, but it doesn't go as north as it should be. The ancient Israel went deep into Lebanon, Syria, etc. And obviously the West Bank and the areas that are not necessarily under Israel's control are also part of Israel proper. Then he talks about the western border, which is obviously the Mediterranean Sea, and the islands close to the shore will also be within this border. Then the northern border will be, you'll draw a slanted line from the seaward extension of Mount Hor to Mount Hor itself, and then a eastward line to the entrance of Hamat, which is Antioch, and the end of this leg of the northern border shall extend to Tzedad, etc., etc. The border will then descend southward, passing to the east of Ain, and then the border will descend and hit the eastern shore of the Kinneret. And then the border descends southward across the Jordan River, etc. Moshe commands the Israelites, and he says, "This is the land which you are to appropriate for inheritance, which God has commanded to give to 9.5 of the 12 tribes, because the other 2.5 tribes are going to be on the western side of the Jordan."
Jewish audio on Chabad.org. Jewish audio on Chabad.org.
Sorry about that.
You shall be.
All right, there we go. Parsha points with Rabbi Epstein.
Parsha points, Matot-Masei for Thursday. We all must and we all will reach our personal Mesiras Nefesh point. That moment when we are no longer spectators and we're all in. When we cross the river Yarden, we commit to eliminating anything antagonistic to Kedusha. Nope, Moshe, our parents, our rabbi, they won't be there to hold our hand. We have the opportunity to be fully committed, and it's ours and no one else's. We take possession of the land, we take possession of our relationship with Hashem, and that means to the absolute exclusion of anything else.
Baal Shem Tov teaches us that from everything that one hears, sees, an event that he came across, we have to learn something out of it. We have to learn something, a message, guidance in our service of Hashem. I was thinking to myself, what message can we learn from the fact, I don't know how many they claim, 2 billion people are glued to their TV or to their phones, wherever they get their news, watching FIFA, as Dr. Bravo used to say, watching 20 people or whatever the amount of people is, chasing a ball in their pajamas. There's got to be a message. So stay with me. But first, there's certainly a message in saying thank you to Hashem. Mizmor s8e Adonai Adonai kol haaretz ibud es Adonai v'simcha. V'oy lefanav b'non ad'u ki Adonai Eloheinu hu asanu v'lo nachnam v'tzoi marisoi. V'oy yisharu b8e chatzroisa v'silo hoydele baruch Hashem. Let us give some tzedakah, as we say, Tzion b'mishpat tipodeh v'shaveh b'tzedakah. It is with tzedakah that we will be redeemed. Now, about soccer in general, the Rebbe once spoke a whole s8e that the ball should be seen as the world, Kador Haaretz, the globe. The opposing teams, each one wants to put it into the net. So we have to know what's the net. The net is the ultimate goal, and so on. But I want to focus on something else, on the game, on the spectators. So yesterday, it was something very dramatic. And I got to tell you, I don't follow the games. I don't have time to waste on this nonsense. But we have a minyan for mincha every day, and I saw a few people came in. They looked very distressed. And I asked him, what's going on? He says, could you realize one of the world's top teams, or the world's best player, somebody by the name of Messi, okay, Argentinian team, losing 2-0 to an Egyptian team, not such a special team. I mean, this is just mind-boggling. This is painful. And they were distressed to the point they couldn't get away from their phone. Ashrei, in the siddur on the phone, the siddur on the phone. I mean, that's an obsession. But then, lo and behold, a miracle. People dancing. In the last, apparently, 11 minutes, or whatever it was, the last moments of the game, the whole thing was turned around. They were losing, the Argentinians were losing to the Egyptians 2-0, and in the last 11 minutes, I think, or whatever it was, they scored 3 goals and they won. HARUACH Argentina. And the Argentinians were breathing a sigh of relief. I think there's a very powerful message here. They stayed focused. The Argentinian players, although apparently they were not playing very well, obviously, they stayed focused till the last moment. There's only a few minutes left. And probably the majority of the fans, the majority of the viewers, spectators, have given up on the game. And, by the way, the players fought on. And in the last minutes, they took all their courage, all their strength. They went digging deeper in their strength. And they made it. What a message to us. It's 2,000 years. We're in a game. We're playing. What are we playing? We're playing bringing Mashiach. And at some point we can say, but come on. We're losing. Look at what's going on. A short while ago, we really thought we nearly made it with the phenomenal miracles that we experienced the last few years. It is happening. And then suddenly everything seems to be not really happening. Are we giving up? Says the Gemara, there's an expression in the Gemara. Afilu cherev chadam munachas al tzevara shalodom al yimna atzma min harachamim. Even if the sword is already lying on your throat, don't give up. Ani mamin v'sei b'chol yom sheyavoi. And although he's tiring, although he's late, I still am waiting. I think this is a powerful message from this game. Don't give up. Go till the end. And you will see. You go like this, you'll win. And Bezras Hashem, let's hold on to our faith. Let's hold on to our ultimate belief. And Bezras Hashem will have the Beis HaMikdash. Today, the ultimate goal.
Goal! Mashiach! Right? All right. Are you ready? Let's go. Tehillim, chapters 23 and 125.
מזמור לדוד, אדוני רואי, לא אחסר, בינוס תשע, ירביצני, על מי מנוחוס ינהלני, נפשי שובב, ינחני ומעגלי צדק, למען שמו, גם כי לך בגץ על מובס, לא ירא, כי אתה עמדי, שבטך ומשענתך, המה ינחמוני, תערוך לפניי שולחן נגד צורריי, תשענת בשמן ראשי, כוסי רוויה, אך טוב וחסד ירדפוני, כל ימי חיי ושבתי בביס אדוני לאורך ימים.
שיר המעלות הבטחים באדוני כארציון, לא ימות לעולם ישב ירושלים, הארץ סובב לו ואדוני סובב לעמוד ויעתו ביד עולם, כי לא ינוח שבט הרשע על גורל הצדיקים, למען לא ישלחו הצדיקים באפלוס ידיהם, היטיבו אדוני לטובים ולישרים בליבו ישם, והמשם הכל לא ישם ירדיכם, אדוני יספויה לאהוב שלום על ישראל.
All right, we are going to skip Pirkei Avos today, and we're going to go straight to Tanya. All right, here we go.
Tanya.
Here we go.
Tanya thoughts for the 24th of Tammuz. Think of it in 3 stages. After Hashem has already entrusted a part of himself to us, he's breathed that breath of life, that neshama, into our being, and we take it someplace it doesn't want to go. The sinner declares, thanks God, I'll take it from here. So what do we got to do? Step 2, tshuva tata. We got to repair our connection. We got to reattach the hey, the part of Hashem entrusted to us, to the yud hey vav, like the breath that has not yet been breathed. Now we're ready for tshuva ilah. It's a breath not yet formed. More than the compliant tzaddik, tshuva ilah means Hashem is and I am not. Total alliance, total oneness with Hashem.
No, it's not impossible that
All
Rebbe
right.
did say.
Sefer HaMitzvah's class number 157.
I'll never miss my daily
Yesterday we learned the prohibitions to consecrate, slaughter, and sprinkle the blood of an animal with a disqualifying blemish, known as a mum. Today we continue to learn the mitzvahs governing this group of animals. Negative mitzvah number 94 is that it is forbidden to offer up those parts of the animal that are usually offered on the altar if the animal had a mum. Negative mitzvah number 95 is that it is forbidden to offer an animal with a mum even if that mum will soon be healed. Negative mitzvah number 96, it is forbidden to offer an animal with a mum even if this sacrifice is being brought by a non-Jew. And negative mitzvah number 97 is a general prohibition upon all Jews, forbidding us from making a blemish in an animal so as to exempt it from being brought as a sacrifice. Seeing that it is so forbidden to bring an animal with a blemish on the altar, one has to wonder what happens if one consecrates an animal and subsequently it gets a blemish. Positive mitzvah number 86 gives us the answer. If an animal is already holy and then it gets a blemish, we must redeem it and transfer the holiness to money, thereby allowing the animal to be unholy once again.
גואלנו, והוא גואלנו, והוא גואלנו, משיח צדקנו, הרבי מלובביץ' מלך המשיח, הרבי מלובביץ'.
All right, are you ready? Hold on. All right, there we go. Mashiach is destined to bring even the tzaddikim, the righteous, to teshuvah, because the neshama of Mashiach is incomparably higher than all souls. Although the righteous may throughout history have served Hashem with all their might, me'odecha, their service was limited to their own might, the might of a basar v'dam, a human. Mashiach, on the other hand, is simply called me'od, mighty, because he will manifest the might of Hashem. Therefore, Mashiach will bring even the righteous to do teshuvah, not because they sinned, but simply out of their innate desire to go beyond their current level and achieve their full potential. Similarly, we should not wait for a mistake to try and do better, and certainly not do one on purpose. We must cultivate a sense of our infinite potential and never be satisfied with our current state. As the Rebbe said over and over and over, Ma'alin bekodesh, you go upward, strive to go, mechayel el choyel, from strength to strength, in matters of holiness. Shmuel Tzvi.
You understand what I just said? That's mind-blowing. Let me repeat. The prophecy explains that when the Messiah comes, the whole world will know. Okay. The commentators say, how is that possible? We don't know. But in the final generation, they will understand how it's possible. Meaning, even before the Messiah arrives in the final generation, they will understand how it's possible that the whole world will know when he comes. How is that? What is that? What's going on? You're looking at this process. Why? Technology. When something happens in the world right now, the entire world is aware of it. It's able to spread so fast. Faster than at the speed of light.
Mashiach's waiting at the door. So let us greet him and come back home. Come back home. Finally home in the place where we belong. It's been so long that we've been gone, so lost and alone.
right, we're going to bring some heaven down to earth this morning. Are you ready? Separating between your physical needs and your spiritual needs is both counterproductive and futile. The spiritual breathes life into the physical, and the physical rises to become a spiritual, perpetual chemistry of exchange. Heal the body, heal the soul, and the body is renewed. All right, try it again. Heal the soul, and the body is renewed. Heal the body, and the soul is empowered. Ooh, sharp words. Heal your body and your soul. And how do you do that? Learning Torah. And how do you do that? Support Torah. Come to a class. Contact me at any of the rabbis, actors groups at Blue Sky, Clubhouse, Discord, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Telegram, Twitter, WhatsApp, YouTube. You can email me at theactorsrabbi@gmail.com, and you can go to theactorsrabbi.com and sign up for many of our services, including life coaching and our free Pay What You Want Shabbos newsletter, Shabbos with Elli, so that you don't have to stop learning just because we're not broadcasting. You can also go to breakfastwithelli.live/swag and order some delicious
Baruch ato Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam boirei nefashos rabos v'chesronan al kol ma sheborasa lachayos bohem nefesh kol chai baruch chai ha'olamim.
All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you to my Patreon sponsors, Pesper Riddle, Tarzan Orchids, Dina D Design, Bracha Biederman, Wendy Cohen, Reza Musavi, David Wepman, Julie Haber, and our 2 anonymous donors. Yeah, I mixed it up a little bit today. If you'd like to become a donor, scan the QR code that you see on your screen, or go to breakfastwithelli.live/support, breakfastwithelli.live/support, and support us today. You can also go to breakfastwithelli.live/swag and order whatever swag that you would like. And that also helps support us because we, you know how that is. And you'll get it very soon. All right? Wings. Yesterday was Wings Wednesday. Yeah, we watched the TV show Wings on Wednesday nights before bed. I know. Isn't that incredible? All right. Well, that's what we do. And you can have wings too. We got a beautiful new Jewish a cappella called Wings. You can enjoy it. All you need to do is listen and enjoy. All right. Tomorrow is Friday, Erev Shabbos. It is Shabbos Chazak. It is the Shabbos that we finish reading one book of the Torah, and we move on to the next book of the Torah. It is also Shabbos Mevorchim. It is the Shabbos that we are going to bless the new month of Av, Menachem Av. You should be comforted in the month of Av. We'll learn the Molid. Rosh Chodesh is next Wednesday. And as we said, Tuesday night, Wednesday is Rosh Chodesh. Yes, what haven't you seen in ages? You got to tell me. All right, here we go. Wings, thank you very much for being here, and we will talk to you tomorrow, Erev Shabbos, special Shabbos. Can't wait to see it. In the words of Rabbi Isaac Kamler, have affection for fellow, Hashem will have affection for you. Do a kindness for fellow, Hashem will do a kindness for you. Draw a fellow close. Hashem will surely draw you close to him. Make it a great and glorious day, and be the reason someone smiles.
Thousands of years we've been waiting, through all of the pain and hearts breaking. Oh, and I'm tired. Oh, and I'm tired. Moments of pain and frustration, but I'm told to have faith and have patience, that it's our it goes like na 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 na. Whoa. Na 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 na. Whoa. Na 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 na. Take me home. Take me home. Thousands of years we've been waiting through all of the pain and hearts breaking. Oh, and I'm tired. Oh, I'm tired. Moments of pain and frustration, but I'm told to have faith and have patience, that it's our time. Oh, please be our time. On the wings of an eagle, we'll fly right